What if I told you that the world's weirdest animals aren't hiding in some deep, unexplored jungle, but right in front of you? That's right. Some of the strangest, most mind-blowing creatures on Earth aren't rare, mythical beasts. They're pigeons, cows, octopuses, lobsters, and chickens. You see them all the time. Maybe you fed a pigeon in the park, eaten a lobster at a restaurant, or watched a chicken casually strut around like it owns the place. But what if I told you that pigeons can do math, and cows can have best friends, octopuses are underwater escape artists, lobsters don't age, and chickens are basically tiny dinosaurs? Yeah, the ordinary animals you've completely ignored your entire life are actually hiding some seriously bizarre secrets. So stick around because we're about to uncover 5 of the weirdest and totally mind-blowing animals. Let's dive in. Pigeons. The bread thieves of city parks. The winged commuters of every sidewalk. The birds that stare at you like they know your darkest secrets. But trust me, they're not just watching. They're calculating. Because, believe it or not, pigeons are secret geniuses. While some people think of them as airborne rats, scientists have discovered that pigeons can understand numerical concepts and even perform basic arithmetic. They can recognize themselves in mirrors and even tell the difference between different artistic styles. Yes, really. In an experiment, pigeons were trained to tell apart paintings by Picasso and Monet. Meanwhile, some of us still struggle to tell the difference between a Van Gogh and a child's finger painting. And it gets crazier. Pigeons are better at navigation than some of our most advanced technology. While we're out here arguing with GPS directions, pigeons can find their way home from hundreds of miles away using nothing but the Earth's magnetic field, the position of the sun, and even low-frequency sound waves. That's right. Pigeons are basically flying GPS systems with built-in solar panels. Oh, and in case you thought they were useless, think again. Throughout history, pigeons have been used to deliver life-saving messages, carry secret war communications, and even assist in search and rescue missions. And before you call pigeons dirty, let's clear something up. Pigeons actually clean themselves more often than most pets. So next time you see one strutting around, just remember, it's probably smarter than you think. But if pigeons are this impressive, just wait until you hear what cows are secretly feeling. Cows. They're big, slow, and spend most of their day chewing grass like they have nowhere better to be. But don't let their calm, dopey expressions fool you. Cows are emotional masterminds. First off, cows have best friends. That's right. Scientists discovered that cows form strong social bonds and actually get stressed when separated from their closest companions. Their heart rates drop when they're with their besties and spike when they're apart. If you've ever felt personally attacked when your friend cancels plans, congratulations. You and a cow have something in common. And they don't just feel emotions, they remember them. Cows have long-term memories and can hold grudges. If a cow doesn't like you, it won't forget. So if you ever visit a farm, maybe don't start your introduction by stealing their hay. But here's where it gets even crazier. Cows can recognize human faces. If you're nice to them, they'll remember you for years. If you're rude, well, let's just say you might want to watch your back in a field full of them. Oh, and you know how people say talking to plants helps them grow? Turns out, cows produce more milk when spoken to gently. Farmers who talk to their cows or play them calming music actually see an increase in milk production. That means somewhere out there, a farmer is whispering sweet nothings to Bessie, and it's working. So, to recap, cows have emotions, best friends, grudges, and favorite humans. Basically, they're big, soft, four-legged versions of us. But if you thought cows were unexpectedly intelligent, just wait until you hear about an animal that's basically a real-life ninja. Let's talk about the master escape artist of the ocean. If Houdini were an animal, he'd be an octopus. These underwater aliens are so strange, sneaky, and smart that they could probably outthink half of us in a puzzle competition. Let's start with the obvious. Octopuses are escape artists. And not just good ones, they're legendary. If you put an octopus in a tank and don't secure the lid, it'll find a way out. If there's a tiny opening, even the size of a coin, an octopus can squeeze through it because, fun fact, they have no bones. They're basically liquid with 8 arms. There are real-life stories of octopuses sneaking out of their tanks at night, crawling across the floor, breaking into neighboring tanks to steal fish, then returning home like nothing happened. One octopus named Inky escaped from a New Zealand aquarium by slipping out of his enclosure, crossing the floor, and sliding down a drain pipe back into the ocean. Imagine the janitor who walked in the next morning. But their brains are even weirder. Octopuses have 9 brains, one in their head and one in each arm. That's right. Their arms can think independently, solve problems, and even react after being severed. If that's not nightmare fuel, I don't know what is. And if they get caught? No problem, they just change color and texture instantly to blend into their surroundings. Some can even mimic other sea creatures, like pretending to be a venomous snake or a poisonous fish. That's next-level deception. So, to recap, octopuses are smart, sneaky, flexible, and borderline criminal masterminds. Meanwhile, humans are still struggling to open pickle jars. But if you think octopuses are wild, just wait until you hear about an animal that literally doesn't age. Let's talk about one of the most bizarre creatures in the ocean. Lobsters, the fancy seafood of high-end restaurants, the ocean's armored tanks, and, believe it or not, one of the closest things we have to immortality. Unlike humans, who start wrinkling and slowing down with age, lobsters just keep growing. They don't weaken, they don't shrink, and they don't experience age-related decline like most animals. In fact, the older a lobster gets, the stronger and bigger it becomes. Scientists have found lobsters that are over 100 years old, still thriving, still growing, still avoiding the dinner plate. Their secret? They produce an enzyme called telomerase, which repairs their DNA and prevents aging at a cellular level. But before you start thinking lobsters are truly immortal, there's one catch. They never stop shedding their shells. And every time they shed them, it takes more energy. Eventually, they get too big and too tired to keep up with the process. So while they won't die of old age, they'll eventually collapse from exhaustion. So to sum it up, lobsters don't age, they just get bigger, stronger, and harder to cook. If you think an ageless lobster is bizarre, just wait until you hear about the animal that's basically a mini T-Rex with feathers. You see them everywhere, on farms, in backyards, on dinner plates. But what if I told you that chickens are basically tiny dinosaurs? No, seriously. Scientists have confirmed that chickens are the closest living relatives of the mighty T-Rex. That's right. The same bird you see clucking around a barnyard shares DNA with one of the most fearsome predators in history. In fact, if you look at their scaly feet and sharp claws, the resemblance is hard to ignore. And here's where it gets even crazier. Scientists have actually manipulated chicken DNA to give them teeth, just like their prehistoric ancestors. That means, in theory, with a few more genetic tweaks, we could bring back real-life dinosaurs. Imagine a chicken the size of a bus chasing you down the street. Yeah, maybe we should leave that science experiment alone. But even in their current form, chickens are way tougher than they look. They can run up to 9 mph, have a sharp peck that can break skin, and some breeds are so aggressive they'll fight off snakes and small predators. So next time you see a chicken strutting around, just remember you're looking at a tiny feathered T-Rex with an attitude. Turns out the animals we see every day are a lot weirder and wilder than we ever imagined. So now it's your turn. Which of all these animals surprised you the most? Write it in the comments. And if you thought these animals were weird, just wait until you see our next playlist, where we dive into the human mind and reveal real bizarre brain hacks. Check it out.